Town of Ayer Cemetery Commission, Ayer Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Ayer, Mass. Monday, March 6, 2023, 4:30 PM. Open session in person and Zoom meeting agenda. This meeting / hearing of the Ayer Cemetery Commission shall be held in person at the location. Should be in person or Zoom at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this meeting. Please note that while the option for remote attendance and our participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast. Members of the public with particular interest to a specific item on this agenda should make plans for person in visit versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. Public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID number 836-7183-8286 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, Assistant Town Manager at atm.ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100, prior to the meeting. First item, we'll call the meeting to order at 4:30 PM. We will review and approve the agenda. Make a motion.
I approve. Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item, review and approve the meetings from February 6, 2023. Any comments on the meeting minutes?
You have them?
I didn't bring any here, but I brought the,
Oh, save some paper. You bring? No.
I had sent them out via email. If you
Yeah,
get a chance.
All right, when was this afternoon?
No, last week,
Yeah, last week.
but,
Well, here, can we see? They're not that long, if you want to read them up there. There it is. Is this one that says draft on it? Yeah, I got that.
yeah,
Okay, then I have it.
yeah, so here they are.
Yep.
I didn't see anything in there that I thought was wrong.
I move to accept them. I second that.
All in favor, motion carried. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chairman says aye. That's accepted. Next item on the agenda is execution of deeds from lot sales. You actually issue deeds to the purchasers?
Yeah, Sam, so through you, Mr. Chair. So yeah, I sent out a memo and circulated it to the commission by email. But prior to the fee changes, we had sold 6 grave lots.
Uh-huh.
And that was shown on the memo. And attached to the memo are the actual deeds that we're providing.
Yeah.
Get signed off by the commission, specifically by the chair, but you know, in this instance, with you absent, we could have Betsy sign off as vice chair. So those are the deeds, and we keep a copy in our file, and then the purchaser will get a copy.
Okay. That's fine.
But that's different from the final funds.
That's a different thing.
Yeah,
We can talk about that later on.
Yeah, one day, we want to talk, I'm gonna talk about that.
Yeah. So the 6 grave lots, how much was that for? These 3 here. Is that the same?
8,
No, it's different.
24,
Oh, it's here.
looks like 4,800 total.
16, 24, and 8.
Mhm.
So 32, 42, 40. Did you say 48, Sam?
That's what I thought, 800 there.
I agree.
16.
Good math,
16.
4,800. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Hey, we're having a good year so far.
So Dan, does this money go in the general fund?
So a portion of it, 600 does, but 200 goes to the perpetual care fund. That's how the fees were structured when these were sold.
Yeah,
So 200 goes to perpetual care, 600 to general.
General of cemetery,
Um,
to our account.
I don't know if it's specific, I don't know how it goes, I'll have to ask accounting how it ends up there, but I know it goes to the, I think it goes to the general, then at the end of the year, they reconcile it. So let me ask, Barbara, the finance manager.
yeah, so it just goes back into the general cover everything fund, basically?
Yeah,
But
as most of our stuff does,
for the town, you mean, or for the highway department, or?
for the
No,
town,
yeah, for the town.
it's the town's general fund. And then when we do our appropriating every year, so for example, FY 24 budget. That all the general fund would go toward that. But anytime we set up an operating budget for a year, it has to have an active town meeting to fund that budget. So that's why when you make a sale right now in the cemetery, it can't go right into the cemetery budget. It has to go into the general fund. Which everything gets bulked in there and then gets divvied back out in the next year's budget. Yeah,
And are they doing the budget now,
yeah, we're going through the budgeting process now.
so that on your plate or our plate to make a budget?
It's
He did though, he did make.
yeah, actually, I do have the
We
operating
looked at
budget.
it last. we looked at it
Drafted.
last time.
Yeah, I think, did we
Yeah.
go over that at some point?
We
I think
looked
we
at it
did,
last
yeah, at
time.
the beginning.
Did we approve it? I don't know. Should we approve it?
I don't think it was up, I didn't think it was up for a vote. I thought it was a presentation Dan had made showing what the operating budget looked like.
Yeah, it's right, it's
It's 26,000.
Well, at 26,000, if memory serves me correctly, that's for the maintenance and upkeep of the grounds.
right, so there's a few different line items in the budget. The total is about 41,000. So it does get umbrellaed under DPW's budget, the cemetery budget does. So, I'm just trying to think if it's the board's, the commission's purview, or if I kind of just set it and let you guys review it and give me feedback and then I present it type of deal. But I did set it up based on our year of operating it. I think we set up the budget properly. And I presented it, but if we want, I could. Today's March 6th, though. Because our
Right.
operating budget, so
Too
yeah,
late.
by the time we meet
Forget
again.
Forget I
yeah.
grasped.
By
It's not even-
the time we meet
Yeah.
again, our budgets will be finalized for the town meeting warrant.
Yeah,
Well, I'm trying to connect the dots on this. So whatever is generated out of sales, a portion goes to perpetual fund, which is, what is that, a separate account?
It is, it's a separate account. I'll have to talk to Barbara about how exactly it's set up, because in the Mass General Law, it speaks to the state treasurer's office. So I don't know exactly how, it's a separate account, that's correct about. So 200 of this 800 goes toward that perpetual fund account. And even when we took over the cemetery from the Woodlawn Cemetery Company, they had a certain amount that was in perpetual and a certain amount that went toward general fund. So we do have a perpetual account fund. I've actually emailed a little bit with Barbara on it to make sure in the future and for these sales we have that we make sure the right money's going to perpetual, the right money goes toward general fund. So there is a separate account that she puts it into, Barbara does.
What does the state have to do with the perpetual account?
I don't know, I need to kind of clear it up myself for my own edification, but the state, in the Mass General Law regs, it mentions the state treasurer's office. But I think it's just referring to, it's a way to set up a separate account, and that gets approved by the state, is what I gather it to mean.
The money doesn't leave the town though, right?
No, so yeah, this fund will, it stays in its own account, gains interest, and then the money can be used toward maintaining the cemetery. So like if you need grave repairs, like long-term maintenance type things. as wear and tear happens over the years. If we need to
Okay.
replace the fence or something, it's sort of like a little capital fund almost for the cemetery.
Okay, okay.
I guess.
But it doesn't do anything to offset your budget. I mean, I know we've sat through enough town meetings, we'll say, well, okay, we're gonna fund this much. But prime example would be maybe the transfer station, okay? You have X amount of dollars coming in on fees, and the balance is offset by whatever the town votes on at the town meeting. Is that the same way this is gonna work?
It would be similar, so that the solid waste, it's an enterprise fund, and you're
Right.
right, it can't sustain itself on the stickers and rates, it gets subsidized through the general fund. It's about 160,000 a year that gets subsidized.
Right.
More, but that's what would happen in this case, if if the cemetery isn't taking in enough revenue from its fees, the general fund just picks up the rest of that, which is the taxpayer. And you kind of wouldn't see it as well as an enterprise fund, because the enterprise fund, we have we kind of have the separate, the revenues coming in from stickers and bags and all that stuff.
Right.
You can see it, but with the budget of the cemetery already being funded through the general fund, it's kind of, it's, I don't know, it's just not as everything goes in the general fund, comes out of it already. It's not like you have this separate, let's put 160 grand toward the solid waste, but let's put 160 grand toward the cemetery because we know it needs it. So it's not as clear as the I guess how much subsidy is needed, and every year will kind of differ, I guess, depending on how much revenue you get and where.
So so it's gonna be this next, we're in the different year cycle right now, aren't we? We're in next year cycle. Since the budget hasn't been approved yet, we've already, that's closed out and we're started the new year already, correct?
We're right now, we're in the FY23 budget, and that ends June 30th.
Yeah.
And then the FY24 budget, which we're working on right now, which will get voted at town meeting in April. That's the one that's in draft form right now. That's being done.
Okay, I guess my question is becoming the fees that we take in. A prime example, there's $4,800 worth of fees. Granted, some of them are perpetual care, but those go back to most of that goes back to the general fund. That being said, for argument's sake, your budget for the cemetery might have been 30,000. Is there an offset to that 30,000 based on what's taken in to date? Or how does that work?
I think it would be best for Barbara, the finance manager, to talk to it, but the budget gets set, the general fund budget, and here's the amount we need. So then, you raise the tax levy, you find out what other revenues you have to meet that amount. So it's kind of, you're not just really looking at the cemetery budget, you're looking at the general budget as a whole, like all police, all that. So I don't think it gets looked into it in that kind of detail. See how much did the cemetery take in, and how much are they, in a deficit kind of point of view. I could have Barbara see if she could come to one of our meetings.
I would just curious that, we're selling the land, taking in X amount of dollars. I would think there'd be an accounting someplace, a check and balance somewhere along the line saying, okay, well, you brought this much in, so we only have to offset it by X amount of dollars. And I just didn't know where that accounting was going to come from.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think,
The town is subsidizing the cemetery, it sounds like forever, and it's not,
That is, but it's subsidizing it by how much? I mean,
Yeah.
that they're going to ask that question at the town meeting, what do we have to pay this much for? Have we taken in any income from there? Is that deducted off of what you're asking for? I mean, their questions are going to be there, that.
Right. Yeah, it should be deducted. You are right. So yeah, I think it'd probably be good. Yeah, maybe if I could see if Barbara wanted to come to the beginning of one of our meetings, we could have her up first.
Sure.
Financial questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, that was the only questions I had on it.
The Sam,
Yes, sir.
so you said you're buying the lot of land to be. If people purchase a lot, purchase the right to be buried in, you're not really buying the land.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, so I want to make sure.
Yeah, I see a deed. It must be a perpetual of some sort. It just says deed to right of burial. So they're not buying the property. Basically, they're renting it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, I understand that.
okay,
Absolutely.
let me make sure.
Yep.
Who have their address on
I'm sorry?
How come they don't have the address on the certificate?
They do.
No, the address of the purchaser,
The address of the what?
person purchasing the lot.
Oh, I don't know.
We have it on the application. I have them fill out the application for a deed, so I have all the information there, but on this right to burial, we just didn't include it there. But I guess that's part of the record of it, is that application form.
So who gets the original?
The
Person?
purchaser,
So then you get a copy that is stapled to the application,
right,
and you keep those on file in your office.
right.
Does the town clerk have anything to do with this?
She does not.
Okay, so how do you track this? Is it in your office, you have a file cabinet someplace with this in it?
Right, we'll file it in our office with all the cemetery records, and also we'll scan it and put it into the cemetery software we have.
Okay,
And it's up on
okay,
as we continue to build that, yeah.
okay.
The town clerk still does the certificates.
Yeah, they go through her,
Yes.
the death certificate, yeah, or record of burial. So it's called, when a burial happens, yeah.
So and as I understood it, the Board of Health doesn't get involved with this at all. You're acting as an agent?
Yeah, so the town clerk acts as the agent for the Board of Health, to process burial certificate. And it gets sent to my office, so our office, we sign off when a burial occurs on that burial certificate, saying, yes, this happened on this date. And then it ends up getting sent to the Board of Health at the end, but Susan acts as the agent. Yeah.
Just have one question for you. So. Say someone has one, 10 years from now, they lose it,
A certificate?
you know. A lot of times people buy it and they just, who knows where it ends up.
Right,
Would you issue another one? The company used to, but
I would say if you've got a copy of the original, just make a copy for
yeah,
I'm just bringing it up, that's all.
Yeah,
In
rather
case
than
someone
making-
else.
instead of making a whole new original certificate, I would make a copy of our copy.
yeah,
Well, that's how they would do it, but they would mark down copy.
Yes. I agree.
yeah.
I agree, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Charging for it. They did before.
They did, yeah, I don't know, it's just a copy. Probably not, but always another way to get money.
Yeah.
Something you said, Dan, about the town clerk. Oh, the Board of Health. Why do you send a copy to the Board of Health? Do they need to, how do they fit in?
So we're talking about the burial certificate, so when the burial occurs. It's part of the Mass General Law regulations, when a burial occurs in a town, that it has to go through the Board of Health, it's a requirement.
Yeah, I saw that in the regulations, but if we didn't, and that was something that puzzled me, if we didn't include the Board of Health at the onset, we were acting as an agent, will we still act as an agent with the burial certificate? So apparently not.
There's a few boxes in the burial certificate, and one of them is for the agent, which is Susan.
Right,
And one for the cemetery, which is us, to sign off on the operation. This burial, actually, you sign off saying, yes, this occurred, they buried this person here on Saturday, March 10th or whatever.
I remember doing that.
Yeah. So there's a few different boxes, and one of them is for sign off for the Board of Health / Susan. So they kind of get it last and they have the ultimate record of they keep on the permit. They have the record of it.
The town board of health or Neshoba?
It's the show.
Wherever the office is, the office.
Yeah, it's the office over here. So I think it's town.
Town
Yeah.
board of health.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's on it now after Mary's gone. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know Bridget Braley, I talked to her on this.
Well, she's Neshoba, right? Bridget's
Right.
Neshoba. Yeah. All right.
But anyhow.
Thank you. Can we talk about the, we got funds from Woodlawn Cemetery Company. Did that go into the general fund as well? I saw your memo. Or Robert sent it. No. Yeah, it went to Robert. Yes.
Yeah, I went to Robert. I can't say with 100% certainty. I'm pretty sure that is the general fund account that it went to. And I don't have a list of all the financials. We could, we had a substantial amount of money when the sale happened. And I guess there was a little bit left in the account here, 4,000 that had to be transferred to the town.
Yeah.
It looks like to me that that's the general fund. But I could, find out some details on it.
Do we know how much?
So between the sales and the,
I don't know if we can get it.
and this check, that's about what, 9,700, 9,800?
How much was the sale?
Well, the sale was 48, wasn't it?
Where's the-
We added up, says it's 48.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the original.
Well, no,
Funds.
the sale of the lots that we had, or the graves that we had was 4,800. And then you add this 4165 in there, so that's 89 and change.
Yeah.
It's almost 9 grand we put in the general fund.
Mhm.
So
Right.
we're just talking about where the money goes and how, and do we need to?
Do we need to talk about it?
Yeah, do we need to know this? Do we need to put it in our outline, in our, how to? Regulations.
I don't know. It seems to me that it would be if it's a separate line item on it, I don't know if it's a cost center or not.
And you
like-
want to be ready to answer the question at town meeting, right?
Yeah, because they're going to ask what the money is for, and you've sat through enough of these town meetings, there's always a few people, well, what are you spending this for? What are you spending that for? And there was some opposition before we took over Woodlawn. You know that. So the people who were opposed to it to begin with, or want to know why we're spending their tax dollars, what are we doing with it? And where's the accounting? So I don't know that we have to know where the nickels and dimes go, but we should have a general idea what happens to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not part of the budgeting process. This falls under the DPW. So that's all there. I don't know if that falls under the DPW funding or not. It could be a separate line item. It could be a completely separate entity. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it'd be best if I had Barbara come and give us a better understanding of where everything's going, how it's set up. And I think where it kind of plays, the commission being up to speed on it is, we just set the fees, but it really plays into how we're setting the fees. How much do we need for perpetual? How much do we need for general?
Right,
But
right.
I think we did a good job there.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank you.
Yeah, so. That would probably help.
So we could probably move on.
We need.
I would think so. What do you have in mind? The next item we were there to talk about is the review or discussion of the cemetery regulations.
Yeah, I think before that, we need a motion to execute the deeds as provided in the memo,
To
something
accept
along
it.
those lines.
Okay,
Well, it'll be executed, it'll be, by the,
So that I have to sign them.
yeah, well,
I
we could have
move-
Betsy sign them since she's here.
I move to execute the deeds to the right of burial we received, the 4 deeds. or 3 deeds?
Three.
3 deeds
three.
received. Well, to execute them.
I'll second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Susan.
Ayes have it. Betsy, you sign them, please? Yes?
No, so I'm gonna miss the town meeting. Are you two gonna be able to go to the town meeting? I'm sorry, I have a flight back from Mexico that night.
Yeah, I hope you're going to the good part.
Yeah. the
You're not
beach-
you're not on Aero Mexico, are you?
No, the
Those
beach
people
in
are-
Mexico City. You should email me some recommendations. Want me to sign them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On to Vista Cruz.
How do you want me to sign it? I'm just gonna, on behalf of,
yeah,
or is Betsy just gonna forward it?
yeah, just right for Sam.
3 deeds.
Or by direction. You can do that.
And
Do I put my title vice chair?
you bet.
Sure, yeah, because we already heard this. So, Sam, I just sent you an email. Betsy had done a bunch of legwork on the spreadsheet for the regulations.
Okay.
Hopefully you got it through, I sent it to your Air email account.
I've been having so much trouble that's not, I can receive everything, but I can't send anything.
You, okay,
Okay.
Do you know how?
Do I know how?
Well, I have a hard time finding how to do it, like reply or reply all. I can reply, but then there's a box that I forget how I compose. It is weird. I have trouble
No,
getting to it too.
it stays in the outbox. It won't send.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
that's pretty weird.
Copy.
And you're
I-
connected and
I don't have
everything.
it.
Yeah, you want to ask the technology
Okay.
first.
One thing I didn't think about.
Send button twice.
Do you hear that, Sam?
What's that?
Sometimes you have to hit the send button twice.
Send button twice if it doesn't go the first time.
I did everything except pound this thing with a hammer and it wouldn't send anything.
Well, how do
The
you-
hammer, I was close to the hammer.
There it is.
Yeah, how,
Share that one.
I don't know how
No,
you,
yeah, I'm looking at it, Dan.
So, yeah, I shared screen, but hopefully you got it too.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
no, so somebody found the existing regulation says you have to be a resident for 20 years.
Yeah, that was,
Really?
That was another town, wasn't it?
It's under here in red. In very tiny.
I think it was from,
Top left, yeah, there.
Maybe.
you know, I saw it somewhere.
All right, so we're on to regulations.
Yeah.
Wow. Have
I don't-
resided here for more than 20 years and lived in town within the last 5.
That's from Rockport.
Oh, somebody copied and
I
pasted.
copied it over, wondering,
Okay.
so I put
Okay.
it in red, so just see, we wanted to do that or
Okay.
something similar to what I did.
At this rate, I can't be buried there.
Yeah.
Well, you can,
We don't have the shortage of land that they have. We were talking about this last time.
yeah. So
Yes, we were. Yeah, we were.
We didn't make a decision.
we didn't make a decision on how to clarify resident.
No.
Right, we did talk about it for quite a bit.
Well, I think proof of, like they have here, legal resident is their address is in Ayer. They're registered voter in Ayer, or they own property in Ayer. Those are 3. Because we have a lot of rentals. They don't always do that, so we could add.
Do you actually want to put a time limitation on it?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so either. As far as I'm concerned, if they're a resident, a property owner, then, and they want, again, there's not a line out there, so sell them the lot if they want to be buried here. I mean, I don't see any reason not to. The fact that somebody hasn't lived here is not because they didn't want to not live here when they died. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So wait, I'm not understanding what you're saying. You're saying we shouldn't have a residency requirement?
No, we have a residency requirement, but I don't think we need a time limit on it.
like 5 years or 20 years or something.
Okay.
So what do you want to consider a resident?
Someone who says they lived here, or have lived here, live here now?
You want to put a year on it if you like. I mean,
We had talked, I don't know. we had
a
talked-
resident,
Minute- a
a
resident-
legal resident or a registered property owner. I mean, that seems to be,
Yeah, like that.
who's legal
we
resident,
have a lot-
maintain an heir.
We have a lot of renters.
I don't know.
Sam.
So their legal address.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it could be-
We have a lot of renters in air.
Well, this one, because this one says a resident shall be defined as an individual whose legal address is maintain an heir, is a registered voter or owner of property.
Or is it registered property,
Or
or owner,
I put the or.
and we don't have any time limit
And then
on it.
just delete the last sentence.
Yes.
The only condition that
Yeah.
take that off.
So you don't want to, we're not gonna,
For time limit.
right,
Well, should it be the individual or their child? Or their minor child?
good call.
Yeah, this happens.
What? They
Or their minor child. How do you prove that child was a legal resident?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, they're on the
Okay.
census or their minor child.
Okay.
Well, I think if the minor child has passed away, we'd be hard pressed to try to get a birth certificate from the mother. You know,
I think we wouldn't, I mean, do we require this before we sell it?
I hate to say it, just a lot of times, there's just someone knew the person who lived in an air at one point.
Yeah.
Knew who the person was. For the burials coming up this week. He was a resident of Groton, Air, and he knew several
Hmm.
different places he lived in. He was 90 something years old. There was one, she passed away at the beginning of the year or was the end of December. She came all the way from California.
But she had lived here before,
I said she
Okay.
came back to Air.
and she already,
All the son brought her back to Air.
had they already bought a lot?
They end up having to buy another lot because just the way things were, if people were buried this way and people were buried this way. It was on the old side. It was well before my time.
Yeah, but, okay, so for example, what if one of my adult children happened to die, God forbid? They might have lived here for a year. Did we say a year?
no, I just suggested it if
Yeah.
you did in fact want to put a time limit on it, because I wouldn't want to preclude renters just because they don't own property. There's
Right.
residents, a resident. I mean,
Right,
yeah,
It's not like we're short on that. If they said they lived here,
Yeah.
they lived here.
right. And then we can revisit it if it's seems like an issue.
Case by case basis.
Yeah,
you might want to stick the word minor in there between there and child.
yeah, their minor child is what I said.
Yeah,
Where are we putting in?
yeah, because after that, they're, yeah,
Or their minor child, defined as an individual and their minor child whose legal residence is maintained
Okay.
here.
yeah, I like that. That's good. Yep.
Yeah,
And then there's one other thing to bring up, there's things you don't want to bring up, but you have death of an infant.
Yeah,
It's a minor
Where
child.
all the infants were buried in one spot, that spot's all full. So they took a lot and just would bury them in there. So it's a thing of. If it happens again, you're gonna make someone buy a whole lot. What?
Well, I would think.
That's not a discussion for now, but something to
No,
think
I
about.
know, but
We need to,
discuss it
That's
because
gonna be something you need to discuss.
if you're in the, I don't have, but my family, say I, my husband and I bought a lot and a grandchild or somebody died or whatever. If a family already has a lot, you put the infant in that lot. But what you're saying is, family doesn't even have a lot anywhere. and they have an infant who dies, there was a section just for infant. What if,
Was, it's full.
okay, well, what if when their parents die, where do they go? So you put the infant back with the parents? That's what, you know what I mean?
Not our problem.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying, why have
Oh, a separate spot,
It's
Spot.
a separate spot. I mean, just,
because you're already traumatized and,
Yeah.
I mean, I can walk over to the cemetery and show you where it is right now.
how many are in there?
They have
I'm not sure.
they have a section in St. Mary's on that too. That's from 1800. Early.
Or, you know, like a stillborn or
Yeah, there's a
late
whole
term,
section.
late term miscarriage, yeah.
Yeah.
Infant.
And then another thing is, sometimes we just wrap them up in blanket. This is how I was told by the funeral home time, and then this was Badger's funeral home. He actually had a small casket for them to be in. So it opens up a big can of worms.
Or is
At
it?
some
an-
point you
or
go
is
to
it an actual
discuss.
burial?
The baby was in a small
Yes.
coffin casket, what do you want to call it?
Hmm.
Wow. No,
I kind of think that particularly if the family had a family plot, they would want to keep the infant in the same plot rather than being a separate location. I kind of think that's the way that would go.
But what if they don't have a family plot?
Well,
That's the one thing, if they don't have a family plot, there are babies buried in family plots, so yes, it does happen.
We could
Yep.
buy, we bought,
But the thing is, it's affordability.
right?
what do you suggest?
Good question.
Well, you're the expert on that. So,
I
Or at
said,
least-
at some point, we need to pick a lot, we're going to use for babies.
Yeah.
Designate it for that,
0, 1, 0, 2.
do
Whatever.
something like that, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how parents would take to that, to be honest with you, though. You know, it's bad enough that the child died, but you're going to bury him off into a corner somewhere.
Well,
I,
then let them buy a family lot if it's a concern, you know, so my daughter had a stillborn and the child's ashes are still in their home.
On something like that, yes, the ashes can go with somebody at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't have, my daughter does not own a family plot.
Yep.
I mean, it's a hard decision. What do you do? And already you're making some traumatic decisions.
right.
I'm just saying, just at some point it comes up. You want to be ready for it, not get.
So
blindsided
so
by
you're
it.
saying we need, I would like. to
You should, I
discuss
said, it
this.
doesn't need
Yeah.
to be in some back corner,
Right.
there are lots throughout the cemetery.
And what was the charge for a baby? We didn't put that.
I
in
don't,
the-
there is a charge, but it was, I don't remember.
Hmm.
so it was a smaller, because it was a smaller lot, the charge would be less.
So take it, this is the lot right here. It would be, if the, was divided up into like maybe 6 or 7 sections, I don't remember. I just know I used the last one for that one baby that was there, and that's it.
So it's Sam and Betsy, I would like just make a decision on this right now, so we don't have to revisit it. Would that be okay?
No,
Not yet, right.
No?
no, I think I got a thought rolling around in my head. And somebody doesn't have a family plot, but they do have a plot and the baby dies. I'm thinking we might be able to, we've already said that we would allow an urn and a coffin in the same plot.
Right,
So I'm thinking somewhere along those lines that newborns or stillborns, minor children, something like that, if they're cremated, they could put them in the same lot they have but that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work either because the coffin's got to go in first.
But Sam, I think if there's a family plot, it's not an issue, correct?
No,
It's when there isn't a family plot. I think that's,
that's-
So if somebody has one plot, one grave,
No, say somebody doesn't have a grave and their child dies. And they want to bury the child,
the infant.
the infant.
yes,
That's
That's
what we're talking about.
Infant.
So they have to buy one lot
that's the way it is right now.
to put.
No,
To put in.
the
a
way it
child.
was right now is we had this one,
They had one.
No,
set-
he just said he used the last one.
right, until now, and so we have to make a decision on this, whether, you know, what if it happens? You know, in the
Do we
next,
make another baby section?
yeah, that, okay, that's what I would,
Well, you say section, you're talking about this
one,
one lot.
yeah, one line.
So it lessens the burden of the $1,500, and that's another thing, to come up with price
Yeah, all right, what
for
about
one.
300, if it's, we need.
I'd say it was around 300 or 350 for a
And is-
baby,
and
so
was there perpetual care?
What was the sign?
I don't remember,
I don't have my other towns, actually.
because that's something in my briefcase from.
Yeah.
Woodward.
Just for the sake of time, so we don't have to revisit this again, could we possibly make a decision? Plus, it might come up. You know, that we might get a call, David might get a call. If it's
So
full,
what was the size of a baby lot?
a standard lot, he could put about.
Say
6
3 feet by, I don't know,
What,
what was the question mark?
yeah. Well, for 12 to 14 inches.
Okay.
Wide. By.
My concern is to make it as easy as possible for us and as easy as possible for a family who might be faced with this.
Right.
Like in the next, whatever, 1 to 300 days.
I'm not too concerned about how making it easy for us. I'm more concerned about how you handle the grieving family. I mean,
Oh, not a minute.
So managed.
yeah,
Westford has prices for a child age 10 and younger, or stillborn infant. This is for opening of the grave site. I didn't see a separate price for a lot.
would that be a full-size lot?
Wait a minute, the second, right
Oh,
there.
lot and baby
Baby
section.
section,
250.
yeah. So 100 for the grave and perpetual care 150.
Sounds like.
So,
a-
so
And it's ages 2 years and younger. I
Younger.
think that's reasonable. They're very.
And then they have up to 4, oh no, yeah, 2 years and younger. That would be good.
So could we agree on some prices for that? And
well, before we agree on prices, don't you think we ought to figure out where we're gonna put them?
David? aren't you-
Is he gonna create another baby lot?
I just have to figure out a lot.
Yeah, we can.
So I yeah, I don't wanna put the cart before the horse. I mean,
I mean, it wouldn't be like I said, in the back over by the gas station in front of the container, because I don't think this lot's there.
Do we want to look at the map and pick a spot together?
Yeah, I was gonna say, which map do we want to look at?
Not
Not this, not this one, that's the middle one, right?
you plan on, David, you plan on putting one on the other side of the fence or on the same side of the fence we're on there now?
Be on the same side you're on now.
No, thank heaven.
There's not much room in that back row though, is there?
This one,
I'm not positive.
what's the difference between this one and the?
There's one where we
This
have,
one, That one.
one
It
that
looked like that back row was pretty full up the last time I was out there.
Is this, are these two the same day? Right.
Yes, but it doesn't break down where the empty lots are at.
Oh.
I mean, I have a book that has what the empty lots are,
Okay. So
Yeah.
not all these are
you know.
full or empty, you don't know.
Well, do we need to have input on those, or can we trust David to choose an appropriate spot?
Do we have to what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Should we have input on this right now, or can we trust David to pick a spot?
I kind of think that's his forte, don't you?
Okay, well then I would like to make a motion.
If there was be a question about it, I would talk to Dan over it first.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we empower David Dean to pick a new baby section for babies 2 years and younger.
Yes.
And that the fee would be, I don't know,
Why don't
200.
you split that into two
To what?
Motions.
The fee, okay,
motions?
okay, so I move that we execute David Dean to, we empower David Dean to, I got your, okay, to choose a new baby lot for ages 2 years and younger.
I second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Aye. Motion carries. Your next one?
I move that we charge, I don't know, 200 for the lot and perpetual care 200. Or I don't have to make the motion. Should we discuss it first, then we'll make a motion?
Yeah, I thought we were talking about 150 each. 100 or 150. Didn't I hear that number a few minutes ago?
Yeah, you, can you see the share screen right now, or?
Yes, sir. I see the existing regulations, Westford.
Yeah, I'm highlighting lot and baby section costs. Or
No, it's not moved.
For the other one, all right, hold on, I'll move it. How do I get there? New share. So it should be sharing now the Westford price.
There it goes. Okay, yep.
Yeah. So
Oh,
they
I
have
see.
here for the lot, that's perpetual care 150 and then 100 fee for the lot.
And then to open it
And then there's an opening fee here for children and.
for stillborn 200. So, 100 for the lot.
So that's what Westford charges.
Are they up to date?
I think their fees are pretty.
I think that's pretty reasonable, really.
Yeah, these are December 1st, 2021 fees. so
Yeah.
Pretty up to date.
Well, then there's the opening fee.
Yeah, which is separate. Down here.
They don't cover it 0 to 2, they just said stillborn.
Oh, yeah.
Does that have to be done by hand? No.
But you
That doesn't make sense the way they did that. Your opening fees for a child 10 and younger are stillborn, but then again,
Oh,
the lot is for the baby section 2 years and younger. So where do the ones go between 2 and 10?
so Sam, did you say 150 for the lot, 150 for perpetual care? That's 300, maybe 200 to open it, it's 500. Would
That seems very reasonable.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll make them, Betsy, what do you think?
So we want 150 for the lot, 150 for the perpetual care,
And
200 for the open,
Yeah,
for 2 years and younger.
Correct.
that's correct.
All
Yep.
right, so I move
Go ahead.
that we charge 150 for 2 years and younger for the lot, 150 for perpetual care, and 200 to open the grave for ages 2 years and younger.
I second.
Anything over 2 is an adult. Is that about right?
Well, that's not what Westford does, but we're on this motion.
I'll second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. So yeah, Dan, do you have to go back to the BOS for this?
Yeah, I will, for the fee. I'm
Okay.
at meetings almost every time anyways.
All right. Now the question becomes, okay, so we've we created a baby section, 2 years and younger. We got the lot, we got the perpetual care, we have the opening fee. Now, what do you do with someone who is over 2? So are we considering someone over 2 as quote unquote an adult size person?
The thing when you have to start using the casket will be the dividing line.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a what?
Well, like I said, just at some point, you have to use a casket.
Right.
Regular, I don't know if there's a difference in sizes for the child or an adult. But that would be your dividing line, I guess.
They're saying Westford says up to age 10.
Well, yeah, but that kind of leaves a blank spot because we've already selected 2 and younger and
So, all right, so
So if we
2 to
go
12,
over 2 to up to 10, of another section?
But nothing is,
no,
it will fit in
No.
a smaller section.
yeah.
Yeah.
what we,
Like a 5-year-old's not gonna fit.
No,
in
it's
there.
not.
They're gonna have to find a lot.
Yeah, all right, so we'll have to say that any child that dies that's over the age of 2, the family has to buy a regular lot.
I agree with that, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
make that into a motion.
Second,
Yeah, good. For children over the age 2. So you motion that it stands, so children over. Purchase a whole lot. But could that ever be shared with someone else? Probably not.
what was that?
For children over 2, you have to purchase a full lot. That's the,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes,
You're putting the full
Over 2.
size malt casket in there. No,
yes,
not unless they're ashes.
Yeah,
Any
right.
child over the age of 2,
yeah.
you have to buy a full lot.
Right. Now,
Yep.
anybody, if their child died, they could also just have ashes, that'd be an ash burial, we already covered that. In our other,
Yes,
just ash for any age. Okay.
yes.
Right now, yeah.
Okay, so, alrighty,
So who made the motion?
that's the motion, Sam seconded.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We got it straight?
Yes,
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
I,
Aye. Motion carries.
next. I'm glad we took care of that, but I'm glad that David brought that up. Yeah, so,
I
Yes.
talked to Dan about it once before. It's just-
I didn't even realize that, but
Yeah.
yeah,
We're gonna have to
good
deal
point.
with it At some point.
there's a lot of
Just-
details, yeah. And it's good to have an answer.
Yeah. All right.
I appreciate us just taking action on this now. Thank you, everybody, who just.
what's the next? I put in. Same.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. I'd like to, I'm gonna print this out tomorrow so I can read through it.
Yeah.
Nice job, Betsy.
Thank you. Can you lower the
So where we go?
line? But-
I can't, yeah,
Dan, can you, I don't know, is that movable?
Yeah, I can go up and down. Where do you need to go?
No, the first block is cut, is short. It needs to be bigger. There we go, yeah. Couldn't see it, it's cut off. Yeah. All right. So basically, everybody basically has the same thing
Oh,
for
perfect.
So with the regulations, I'm not taking notes. You're taking notes on it, and then we'll just vote on them all at once eventually.
Yeah, we'll vote on it all at once.
Yeah.
We'll develop them here and then do a
Right,
vote
so
when we're done.
All right, number 2 is, are we on to number 2?
Yeah, shall pay a fee for perpetual care of said lots, perpetual care consists only of mowing the grass.
And that's what ours said, yeah,
None of those others, so that way not. Heard of maneuver here.
I mean, what Westford says is very specific. Oh, Westford says it doesn't include the repair or replacement of memorials.
Right.
What do we do now when that happens?
we wouldn't do anything with it.
One year, there was some headstones that did get moved and we did the foundations on them. One was a very big stone.
But is that our job? Should we, this Westford says,
It was, they just decided, they paid me by
what do
the
you
hour.
mean,
and
the
that was it.
commission?
Did they use
They had-
perpetual care, do you know,
Yeah.
perpetual care funds?
Don't remember half that.
Yeah,
What would happen if the maintenance people did some damage to one of the markers?
It's a long one.
it'd be on them
It's
to fix it,
Yeah.
whether there's an insurance claim or whatever, no, but
Yeah.
it'd be on them to fix it,
But it's a
Okay.
good question. It's a good question.
yeah.
All right, I think we should put what Westford says, we're not responsible if these memorials have damage. But so,
I-
but if it's 100-year-old memorial, what do we do with it?
Yeah.
We're,
Don't know.
What have you done in the past? They've been good enough?
There was one it fell over. And I don't know if you know Rich Scott was, he has a small tractor. He came over with his tractor. Picked the stone up and put it back up. Over on the old side, there was a couple. I can't remember how many of the headstones. Limits the monument came in. They pulled the headstones off, set them on the ground. I dug them up and then put in new foundation. It was like rocks and some cement, but
Yeah, from years ago.
yeah, I said years ago.
Yeah,
Well, then is this part of perpetual care?
right.
Then I have to ask how that was.
that's what I understand, it is long-term, where,
That's,
that's where this is kind of like,
yeah,
But here it says, it's just mowing and trimming.
yeah, so we need to change that.
right? Yeah, it should really just, I would just refer, like Westford does to chapter 114, that's where the definition of perpetual care is.
General law 114.
But Westford also says they're not gonna repair or replace memorials.
What is it? Where is it?
Right, the third.
Remember, this
third
wasn't
paragraph.
repair or replace, this was just fixing foundations.
Oh.
Isn't that repairing?
Third paragraph.
We didn't repair any of the
Oh,
monuments.
you fix the foundation, so that's part of perpetual care.
How you want to define it?
Well, that's what we're trying to do, help us here.
Well, a couple of them I knew they could, there was no more existing family, they didn't know how to find anybody else.
And what are you gonna do, send them a bill?
Well, thing is, one was already leaning towards the driveway. So when they fallen in the driveways, you have to deal with it. So they dealt with it before it ended up in the driveway.
I would think perpetual care would mean. That's a maintenance thing.
It's a maintenance thing. It,
So.
I think you deal with it as they occur.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anyone you have to worry about at the moment.
So, and the perpetual care consists, and take out the word only, of mowing and trimming the grass, maintenance of foundation. Maintenance of,
Maintaining the
careful.
foundation. Well, then what? We're committing to too much?
I think.
Yeah,
so.
I think that we ought to take Westford pretty much verbatim.
okay,
But Westford is talking about,
purpose of the care fund, Massachusetts general law, that one.
That section right there, I think that's
what's it say underneath that?
perpetual care fund income in no case means maintenance. Yeah, what is it used for? I mean, somebody's gonna say, hey, look, we're paying for this. No, you're not. So I think it pretty well defines what the perpetual, unless you want to put the perpetual care fund in definitions. I mean, right now, we're talking about what perpetual care is, but the purpose of perpetual care trust fund. Do we even have a trust fund?
TBD.
We do.
To be determined.
Yeah, I just gotta confirm it with Barbara.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we do have the trust fund, then I think we should take that paragraph right there and incorporate that into ours.
And even if we do that, we still might end up doing work, but that's because we choose to do it.
That is a fact, yes.
It's gonna be like a case by case scenario.
Okay, then I'm in favor of that. We just don't,
Yes,
it's the unwritten law.
There you go.
So you're talking about the first paragraph?
No, I think all of it, because this is cut off.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
If you want to put perpetual care fund in definitions where
Yeah.
it says shall no case mean, you can put it in there, that's fine. But
right.
I think that entire statement, I like the way they did that. So I think that belongs over there on our side.
So then we don't have a family coming to us saying fix the monument, perpetual care.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So I think it's good. We're already supporting the cemetery from
so we want
temperance.
to copy
think
the
the whole
Westford
thing.
one over.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you
Okay,
got
no, that-
cut off on this window here.
Yeah.
But I just,
Oops.
whatever.
I don't know. Hard when you're zooming.
Well, you keep the first sentence.
Oh,
All
you wanna keep
purchases,
it?
yeah, because all purchases of lot shall pay a fee of perpetual care for said lots, and then explains what the perpetual care is.
Yes.
We need to do that.
Okay. Start with the purpose of, no?
Yeah, not the Westford Cemetery.
Right, but-
Yeah, the purpose of there you go.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think I got it all.
Yep.
I just gotta get rid of the straight.
all right. No, I think this is good.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
okay. Very good.
All right, we made it to square two.
I know, great, cut this straight, right?
Are we going to square three? How long are we gonna meet, Phil?
Let's see if we can just do one more square.
Or it's, I can stay till 6 at 10 of.
Oh, well, this can be detailed, because this is monument sizes, borders and all that. That's a lot in there.
I think before we just start ripping up box number 3,
Yeah,
we need to consider whether or not we have new business. Because that's the next item on the agenda. That's at 5:25, new business and schedule meeting. He had a meeting scheduled till 5:30, so
All right.
not that matters. But is there new business before us before
I
we?
think it's a good question.
I have a couple things.
So let's do it.
I have a couple.
All right,
Okay,
okay. let's do
if
that.
that's the case, then let's not get into box 3.
Okay, so-
And we handled something big. We handled the infant lots. I think that was really important.
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't even on the table at the time when we thought about it.
Yeah.
So was that new business then?
Yeah,
Make
let's get into new business and schedule a next meeting. So what's the new business before us?
yeah, so, Mr. Chair, Sam, so as you guys mentioned, just an FYI, the select board did authorize the fees as was recommended by the commission at their last meeting, and I updated it in all areas. We advertised it, and I sent the notification to all our routine funeral homes, so now they all know the new fees. So that was one thing. And the second thing is David kind of alluded to, there is a burial this Saturday. So we'll be excavating for that full burial on Thursday. And our highway department's gonna be there, the DPW highway, to oversee it. And because the highway will start taking over excavation responsibilities that we talked about at the previous meeting. So right now, the contractor, any acreage, has been doing the excavation. So our guys want to see it happen, so then they can do it with our mini excavator the water department has.
soon
Okay,
we go and mark it.
Yeah.
Mark it out.
So he'll mark it out. Our highway guys are actually gonna go down there with our sidewalk plow to clear the area, so
Okay,
David doesn't have to shovel it, and then he'll mark it out. And it should melt in the next few
Is the
days.
ground frozen? Probably not.
It is.
No.
is it? Yeah,
so do you have a heater?
Yeah, so he'll have to get that going. Probably Wednesday, right? Because they're gonna excavate Thursday.
Well, I could do it
Thursday morning.
Yeah.
David, when you use that heater, you tent it, don't you?
What was that?
When you use you're using the infrared heater, you tent it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. And then the last item I had, it was just actually about scheduling the next meeting. I talked to Carly. And she asked me to have the commission set like a routine day and time during the month, so just to make sure we secure this room. And we have been meeting the first Monday at 4:30. So I think that was fine. Betsy had sent an email to me, suggested 4 o'clock. So it's kind of whatever works for the commission, but just to kind of have like first Monday of the month at 4 or 4 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
just to have something sort of, so I told her we'll be monthly for now, eventually we'll go to quarterly or something.
Right.
Less frequent when we feel it's right, but.
I think once we get the regulations written, and what do we have to do with them when we're done with them? We have to take them anywhere, give them to anybody? Or are they just accepted as,
I think they're accepted. Yeah, we'll post them online and then anytime someone buys a deed, we'll give them a copy of the regulations.
Yeah.
it's not something we have to take to the town meeting, is it?
No,
No,
no, we figured that out.
right.
Okay, all right, good,
And
good.
Yeah.
I don't know if the commission can just set these or select board has to, do it. I'll have to check, but I'll have to check on that, but it's one or the other. It doesn't go to town
And
meeting.
if we're following Westford's regulations, they had separate regulations for green burial, or I think we should just put them. If we're gonna accept green burials as a group, you want another section? Okay,
Yeah,
so that's on our to-do list if we go for it. And so 4 p.m. first Monday of the month. It's gonna be 4:30.
Can you do Sam, can you do 4 o'clock?
It's tough. That's tough to do.
I'm for sticking with 4:30.
I
Okay,
like it.
Okay, 4:30, I can swing 4:30, yeah.
okay, and then if we run late, it's okay?
Yeah,
We don't-
Yeah,
First Monday's fine, absolutely.
okay,
yeah. The
Okay.
Board of Health is the second Monday, so they're the only ones I think who
okay.
usually do Monday meetings.
Good, good.
And, you know, we might have it for holidays, might have to change it.
Yeah. that's
Right, if there's a
yeah.
holiday Monday, then we can case by case change
Case
it.
by
Yeah.
case.
Sure, sure. All right, good, good.
Any other?
First Monday a month at 4:30.
Yeah.
So what's the next one? April what?
I don't have-
Actually, I think I'm on vacation for that one. April 3rd, yeah, I'm on vacation.
How about the next, how about the second? Oh, we can't do the second Monday,
We,
Right.
because you said. the-
Board of Health.
but you can, but they start at 5:30, I think. So it really squeezes to an hour.
How about, so we have,
And we could just pick a new. Yeah,
How long you on vacation, Dan? A week?
Yeah, March 29th through April 5th. So it's a Wednesday to a Wednesday, I'm gone.
that's good.
All right.
Do we have to meet in this room? Is there somewhere else in town hall? We can,
Sure.
Except, you've got a
Oh.
conference room.
will you be here, Sam? Will you be live?
In March?
April.
Hold on.
Today is April 3rd.
Well,
Let me
he's.
I get my book.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah, April
Yes.
3rd, I'm not.
Duh.
Yes, we do.
no, April 10th, if we moved it to April 10th.
Right. So then we get, can we use another room?
Yeah, I should, April 10th, I should be home because I have appointments on the 12th and the 13th, so I should be in town that week.
Okay,
Oh, so we could, what do you say, the 10th, on the 10th?
April
On the
10th,
10th.
So we could do an in-person meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally in
Should we
person.
go with the DPW?
You're, and you're.
Oh, yeah, then we could,
go with-
yeah, we could do it, if everyone's in person, we could do it at the DPW.
Okay,
We don't need to record it.
No.
Yeah, we could just advertise it there. No,
Okay,
not, the only,
all right.
yeah, we're just recording on Zoom tonight.
Yep.
all right, then May, the next one will be May 1st. Everybody's gonna be around for that one.
You know, that's the Monday after Easter. You know that, right?
April
The
10th.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
All right.
You okay with that? Jim?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right.
May 1st, it's May Day.
Yeah. So generally will be first Monday of every month at
Let's
4:30.
look at some of
But
these.
next meeting will be April 10th,
Then there's June 5th,
4:30 at DPW.
June 5th, July 3rd is not gonna work. We'll probably have to go with July 10th. Why don't we just give her these dates and then she has them? Is that okay? So May 1st, we have April 10th, May 1st, June 5th, July
June
10th,
fifth, I won't be here.
July 10th?
No, June fifth,
Oh,
June 5th.
I won't be here.
she won't be there. So should we move it to the 12th?
I won't be there. Oh, wait a minute. No, Janice is gone. I'm not. I'm left home taking care of the dog. So yeah, I'll be here the 12th. I have to be there the 12th. Yep,
And that's fine, because July 10th is a month later.
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, June 12th, July 10th, August, we have to,
Let's just,
Yeah, let's wait.
but she wants to be able to have a schedule, so,
Well, we'll talk.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of,
all right.
committees don't even meet, so.
You said June the 12th?
Get through these regulations. June
Hold on,
12th and July 10th.
June
So can we
12th.
accept that many? And our goal will be.
I
July
wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't go,
Regulations.
I wouldn't go any further than that. Let's,
Okay,
Yeah.
if we make as much progress as we think we're going to, at that point, we should be able to start doing quarterly.
Yeah,
doing what?
quarterly.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
So our goal is.
So
At least that's a goal.
should I write a sketch of green regulations? Or should we just look at?
Well, I think we really need to talk about that at length. I mean, I see the pros, I see the cons, and I think we need to talk about that and see what we want to do and how we want to do it, if we're going to. I mean,
Right.
you're either in for a penny or in for a pound, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really think we need to talk about this at length, and I'd prefer to do it in person, to be honest with
All
you.
right, then let's get through the regular regulations. And, keep researching. I sent out some more resources so that we can become better educated.
I read it, thank you.
Yeah.
I can only take so much, but we could also bring somebody in to
Yeah.
talk about it too.
I mean, like I've got the mass.gov regulations, I have green regulations just for the state of Massachusetts.
Well, I read through what the state has, and to say it's vague is really a broad
Yeah.
brush, you know?
Exactly.
So that if I understood the intent correctly, they pretty much left it to the individual town,
Right.
actually the individual family. But
Well, family.
so I really think this needs to be a separate discussion. And I think we need to do it in person.
Okay. So,
And next meeting that we have, if you'd like, what's the next meeting? April 10th. We'll all be together. I would
Let's-
suggest that we have your green burial conversation there. Put that on the agenda before we start looking at more regulations. I think we need to do that
so you're saying decide whether or not to go forward with green burials?
before we alter more regulations. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to weigh the pros and cons and look at it, see what we want to do and how we want to do it before we include it or preclude it from
I
our
see.
regulations.
I see your point. Okay,
All right,
And then I had a thought, you mentioned, what's her name, Barbara,
yeah, Barbara from,
if you could just
Finance.
ask her those.
Yeah,
Questions and then have the answers for us,
sure, I can do that.
because that way she wouldn't have to come and what she, I don't know, her work schedule.
Yeah, okay, I can get some clarity from Barbara.
Yeah,
and have
okay,
The next meeting too,
Yeah.
on finance.
yeah.
very good. Ben, fine.
our next meeting is.
Is April 10th.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that DPW.
Okay.
That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
4:30. In person.
You got a new office building over there, don't you?
Yeah, we got a nice, yeah, it's fairly new, 2018 we went in.
It's very nice to see.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah,
So I move to adjourn.
Oh, yes. A second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it.